Hi traders, welcome back to the weekly forecast for the new trading week starting on 29th of April. In the upcoming week, on May 1st, a highly anticipated interest rate announcement is coming up from the US, followed by NFP on 3rd of May. The two major announcements will rock the market, especially impacting gold. So join us as we dissect the current trends, analyze key indicators, and provide an expert prediction on how this announcement will shape up the future of gold and other major instruments in the market. So here we begin the weekly analysis, and I'm going to start this time with dollar index, as we have most important announcements related to US dollar coming from the US market, so which may directly impact dollar in the coming days. So let's have a look on the dollars chart. I'm starting from weekly, and I'm just going to remove the existing drawings from my chart. And here what I've done, now based on the weekly chart, if I'm going to zoom in a bit, give me a second. So here I've marked the two key areas of support and resistance. So here we have resistance on the top, and here we got the support on the weekly time frame. Now based on MACD histogram, the momentum looks bullish. So dollar index is expected to be bullish based on the weekly chart in the coming days. Now let's quickly move down to daily. Now based on daily, if you notice, dollar index is creating a sequence of low, higher low, higher low. At the same time, it is also creating a sequence of high, higher high, higher high, higher high, and higher high. And here we do not have any signs against this bullish momentum. I do not see any bearish divergence on the chart. Now based on the last two highs, if we compare, and we have higher high formation, wrong tool, sorry. So here we have higher high formation on the price chart, and in conjunction with higher high formation on MACD histogram and MACD lines, which means dollar is expected to remain bullish based on the technical pattern. So here the question is it going to touch the upcoming resistance first, or is it going to fall? Now based on the pattern, it seems that it is going to move towards the upcoming resistance first, and I'm going to apply fib extension here in the bullish direction, starting from the low, connecting to the first high and the higher low. Now based on horizontal support and resistance levels, the 100% fib extension is coming exactly in this box. So it's a confluence of resistance, it's a confluence of upcoming targets in the coming days. So dollar index right now is trading at 105.8. it is highly anticipated to reach to the level of 106.83. so I believe it will run to the next level of resistance, or it may also break the resistance. Now the major point is whether it is going to be a reliable breakout, or is it going to be a fake out. I believe it is going to be bullish prior to the announcement of interest rate, and post announcement it may just give a false break above this level, and then it can start its downward correction. So let's see how dollar behaves in the upcoming week. Most likely it should remain bullish until the time of announcement. Now the next instrument is Canadian dollar versus Japanese yen. Now in the past week, the Central Bank of Japan has kept its interest rates untouched, and they have not shown any strength, or they have not shown any hint that they are going to increase the rate of interest as it was being anticipated a few weeks ago in the upcoming days. So I believe Japanese yen is going to remain weaker in comparison to other major currencies in the forex market. So as a result, most of the currencies against JPY are continuously rising, and based on the long-term chart, that is monthly chart, let's derive the targets for Canadian dollar JPY. Now here we go on the monthly chart, and I'm going to mark the important areas of resistance, the upcoming areas. So this is one which is quite far off, it's a monthly chart, and the next one is here. Okay, now let's apply fib extension in the bullish direction. Now I'm going to use this as my reference low because we spotted bullish divergence here. So it was the beginning of bullish cycle from this level decades ago in early 90s. Now any which ways, I'm going to use it as my reference level for plotting fib extension, connecting to the first high and pulling it back to connect to the higher low. Now if you notice, currently CADJPY is trading above fib extension of 61.8 and the next extension target is 100%, which is at 136.399, and it is a perfect confluence of two important levels, fib extension resistance level in confluence with the horizontal resistance level coming at the same price. Now currently we are at 115.77 and 136.399 or 136 level will take many months. So any which ways, the next upcoming resistance is here. This is somewhere around 120, which seems a more practical target in the coming days and weeks. So let's quickly move down to the lower time frame. I'm going to apply another fib extension based on the weekly cycle this time, and I'll start from the weekly low. I'll connect to the first high and drag it down to connect it back to the higher low. I'll use a different color for the weekly cycle. I'm going to make it blue. Now if you notice, we have already crossed the confluence of two fib extension levels. So now this level becomes a major support. So until CADJPY remains higher than 112, it is expected to reach to the next upside of 120 or 121. Now zooming in to the weekly chart, I see no signs against. I can clearly see MACD lines are rising in the bullish direction and MACD histogram is also rising. So weekly is bullish and monthly is also bullish. Let's move down to now daily. Now based on daily time frame, I'm going to apply another fib extension in the bullish direction based on daily. Now here we got double bottom with bullish divergence. So the latest bullish daily cycle starts from this level. So I'm going to apply a daily fib extension now to understand the nearest target in the upward direction. So starting from the daily low, connecting to the high and higher low on daily chart. Again, I'll turn it into a green line so that we have a different color for daily. And if you notice, 121 is the perfect confluence coming on to the same level of to the horizontal resistance. So 121 seems to be the next target for CADJPY. Now please, I'm defining the target as 121. Currently we are around 115.77 or very close to 116. So I'm talking about the journey of next 500 pips. Now do not expect that it is directly going to touch 121. Market always moves in waves, so you can expect the waves to be formed and ultimately it should reach 121. Now what should be the point of invalidation? So in this case, I'm going to plot a rising trend line connecting on the daily chart, and here we have trend line and this is the rising trend line. So the invalidation in this bullish scenario should be the break below this rising trend line. So if you get a daily closure below this rising trend line and even moving lower than this fib extension 0.618 level or a major horizontal support level, then the bullish plan should be invalidated. Otherwise, the plan should be to buy on the dips. Now the next currency pair is Euro versus New Zealand dollar. Now I'll go to the weekly chart, and I've already drawn here. Let me just clean the swip extension. I've drawn here, I've plotted here a horizontal box which is a major resistance level. This is the horizontal box I'm talking about. Then the next horizontal box I've drawn is here. So this is the next upcoming support level based on the weekly chart. I'll just extend it to the left. Yeah, so here. Now based on weekly chart, here we can see a pattern of divergence, bearish divergence. So we got higher high formation in conjunction with bearish divergence formed on MACD histogram. Post bearish divergence, this instrument has started forming a sequence of high, lower high, and again it has bumped into the same area of resistance and created a new lower high, which is a sign of weakness. And now I'll move down to daily chart. Now based on daily chart, again based on the same higher highs which we have spotted on weekly, it formed bearish divergence, but here, and it has started making a pattern of high, lower high, lower high, and now again a new lower high in conjunction with low and lower lows. So this is how I see that weakness is building up in the buyers of Euro New Zealand, and the latest higher high formation in the recent most upside leg on the daily chart is again showing some weakness based on histogram, although I cannot claim that we have a perfect bearish divergence here on the chart, but I'm seeing a sign of weakness, the pattern of weakness on the charts. Now moving down to 4H, if you see on 4 hourly chart, we have perfect bearish divergence. So bearish divergence coming into play on multiple time frames along with lower high formation. So after this bearish divergence, this currency pair is forming high, lower high, and lower high, and it had a horizontal support level here, and recently the price has fallen below this horizontal support, and MACD histogram is also favoring the sellers now. So the plan remains to sell. Now the upcoming target should be this low, which is also a major support marked on the basis of higher time frame, that is weekly chart. Now let's move on to hourly chart. Even on hourly chart, we have the same sequence, we have the same pattern, we have a sequence of lower highs, which is a sign of weakness. So it is expected to move downwards, and it has false broken one time, or in fact multiple times, and now again it is making a new lower high. So once you get a new break below this horizontal support level, wait for the retest and join the sellers. So this is the plan for Euro versus New Zealand. And now I'm going to talk about the comparison between US 500 and NASDAQ. Now what I've done here, I've taken US 500 slash US 100. So I've taken two stock indices from the US market. I've taken a spread chart, means it is showing the comparative strength between US 500 and US 100, that is NASDAQ. And based on the spread chart, the comparative study shows that US 500 is expected to rise in comparison to US 100. In short, US 500 is expected to be more stronger in comparison to NASDAQ in the coming days. So as a trader, either we can look for an opportunity in taking the trades, like we can we can have a pair trade here. So what we can do, we can buy US 500 and we can sell equivalent amount of NASDAQ. So the difference between the two will generate profits for you. So this is how we can take benefit from this chart. So I'm going to explain in short. Now based on weekly chart, if you notice, we are right now at the support level, a major support level. So US 500 has taken support and it is expected to bounce. So it is expected to remain stronger than US 100, and the major next resistance level is also marked here. Now this is not a price chart, it is not a regular price chart of any instrument, it's a spread chart which is showing the comparative strength between the two instruments from the same market. Now I'm moving to daily chart. Now if you see on daily chart, it has formed a bullish divergence, which means it is expected to rise, and it is also forming a sequence of higher lows and higher highs, which is a bullish pattern. Now moving down to, I'm just going to zoom in here a bit. See, now here is the bullish pattern I'm talking about. We have a low, higher low, higher low, higher low, and we also have the sequence of higher highs. Now in the short run, only in the short run, we may have some pullback because we can see some weakness coming in here, but the weakness should be short-lived and it is expected to rise again in the future. So the plan is you should buy US 500, parallelly you can sell, you can short US 100, and the difference between the two, the spread between the two, should bring profit for you. Now here, based on lower time frame, that is 4H, I do not see any signs against. Here on 4-hourly chart, I can see that we have a clear pattern of low, higher low, higher low, higher low, and followed by higher highs, and we do not see any divergence in this bullish trend. So I'm anticipating that there should be a short-term pullback, and again it is going to rise. So US 500 can remain weaker only in the short run, very short run, in comparison to US 100, that is NASDAQ, but ultimately it is going to get stronger than NASDAQ. So this is how I'm going to take benefit from the two indices of US market. Now finally, we have our favorite instrument, that is gold. Okay, this gold chart is showing some errors, so I'm going to replace it with another chart here. So perfect. So here I'm going to start from monthly. Monthly is, again, I'm not going to repeat the same cycle again and again. I've explained like multiple times in my previous weekly videos. Monthly chart is clearly bullish. It is rising, making a pattern of higher highs, no signs against, no bearish divergence. Quickly moving down to weekly. Now on weekly chart, I'm going to plot fib extension in the recent most bullish cycle, and we have crossed 2265, that is fib extension 100%, and the next is 2545, or we can say 2550 in round number. Now currently I do not see any signs against on the weekly chart as well. We have higher high pattern on MACD histogram, on MACD lines, and we have higher high pattern on price, so which means there is convergence, there is confluence, no signs against in the bullish trend. So monthly remains bullish, weekly remains bullish. Now moving down to daily. Now what's happening on daily? On the daily chart, I can see there is some divergence built on MACD histogram, but there is no divergence on MACD lines. So which means there could be some short-term pullback, or there could be some consolidation happening, and then it should expected to rise. It is expected to rise. It should rise in future. So only short-term pullback or consolidation, that's it. And the major support level coming from fib extension is 2265. So until gold remains above 2265, I'm not going to sell it. There are no plans for short selling. I'm just going to look for buying opportunities. So buying on the dip is the plan for gold. Now let's move on to 4H. Now on 4 hourly chart, I can see some short-term weakness. So we have this triple top here in conjunction with bearish divergence, and only on the 4 hourly chart I have seen that it has printed lower low and lower high formation. So if dollar gets stronger, if dollar remains stronger until the major announcements from the US market, we can expect short-term weakness or short-term pullback in gold. And again, I'm expecting that gold will continue to rise in the future. So let's see if in the near future or in the very short term, do we have an opportunity to sell. So I'm going to plot fib extension in the downward direction. I'm going to change the color to red, and currently if you notice that gold started correcting after this triple top, and it had run exactly towards fib extension 100% in the downward direction. So 2311, it went below, but it was a false breakout. It bounced back. Now it is facing resistance at 2352. So there could be some range bound price action in the upcoming week, and it can also retest the major fib support at 2265 only in the short run, and finally it is expected to rise. So only in the short run you can look for selling. One invalidation level could be the break above this fib level, that is 2352. Alternatively, the other resistance level which is coming into play is around the price of 2379 or 2380. So alternatively, I can see that gold can rise up to 2379 or 2380, and then it can run into the major support, finally breaking in the bullish direction. So this is the multi-time frame analysis for gold. Only in the very short term you can look for selling opportunities, but to be on a safer side, you should buy on the dip and hold your trades until it completes the next major bullish level at 2550 or 2560. So I hope my multi-time frame analysis of different instruments have added some value to your trading plan for the week. So stay tuned for the next upcoming forecast, and if you want me to analyze any other instrument of your choice, please feel free to contact me. Take care and have a nice and profitable trading week ahead. Bye bye.